This video is intended to describe a lightblade talisman named Abundance, which would be the 15th rendition in short succession, which means there's 14 pre-existing predecessors to exactly this energetic platform, which is, of course, developing great compound vibrational interest and distribution through this emanation being dispersed, emanating, doing its thing. So I'll go ahead and discuss the primary blade band scaffolding as a preface of the energy running through the entire closed-loop reactive circuit. Starting off with what's considered the abundance ratio. Starting off with clear quartz to work as a neutral accelerator of the energy, as well as my crew chakra map will be joining me for this in-depth tour. My stick figure chakra map. And so anyhow, clear quartz makes it a neutral amplifier of the energy, going into emerald, the quintessential heart chakra green ray abundance stone of antiquity, going into golden rutilated quartz to work as a massive acceleration of the energy, going into peridot, a fantastic third and fourth chakra stimulant, essentially the frequency of chlorophyll, the force that makes all this grow, of course, which is a great positivity abundance frequency as well. Then clear quartz, then emerald, then into golden healer quartz, which is a gold white light high source connection frequency to the central sun of emanation of creation, which is very advantageous. So that'd be the circuit completing like so of the abundance spectrum, designed to be a very powerful heart stimulant to maintain one's true connection to creation, which is essentially, in theory, based on that dissertation, the Holy Grail energy manifest of being in divine alignment with your true nature in the center of the heart at all times is kind of the, I guess, one of the side effects of this ambitious endeavor that, like I mentioned, has expanded into the 15th rendition right before me. So that's the abundance ratio going like so into the transmutation lateral band. The transmutation ratio, consisting of hematite and smoky quartz, work fantastic together to synergistically ground all the excess energy through the root chakra into the earth stars and into the earth reprocessing, which would work as a two-way purification dialysis of excess energy by taking all negativity and grounding the earth for a quick transmutation of negativity into positivity by tapping into Mother Earth. And so that's also very advantageous as a grounding platform for all the exotic frequencies yet to be mentioned as a contingency. So that entire section of transmutation of, once again, hematite and smoky quartz runs laterally like so, up the sides, laterally like this as well, then up this side as well, to contain the transmutation circuit. So like I said, the primary blade band scaffolding is where it governs the excess energy flow and what resembles to be close to a figure eight for perpetual residual energy momentum travel as the primary energy of the focus is contained. Then right here is a apex band consisting of clear quartz to be once again a neutral accelerator of the energy into the famous legendary ruby, the quintessential root chakra stimulant and also a stone of precious notoriety. Clear quartz into blue sapphire, another stone of notoriety of precious antiquity, as a fifth and sixth chakra wind elemental stimulant, which make a very fantastic red and blue stimulation even balance, as well as, most importantly, being well-recognized precious stones of true abundance that are quite famous in the history of humanity for magical purposes. So that would be just the idea of the primary blade band scaffolding that will, of course, emanate the governance of the rest of the frequencies mentioned through this entire closed-loop reactive circuit. So starting off with the blade face down here at the very apex is the mighty powerful fulgurite, which is petrified lightning, which literally carries the energy of lightning striking sand, which is a very powerful full light body stimulant from top to bottom, as well as a great intensification of prayers and manifestation utilized by First Nation shamans for this purpose as a tool to intensify their prayers back to Creator or Spirit to serve their people and serve creation. So having a little dose of that wire wrapped, of course, into a primary wire is part of the organs of this sentient being before us right here in this video's sake. And so as a quick preface also, all these other frequencies mentioned from this point out are all, of course, grounded to a single primary wire, generating vibrational compound interest in their own right, which means that every single frequency mentioned are all part of a whole of this entire entity that are vibrating together to make a emanation field, much like I said, organs in a crystal consciousness entity before us. Then right here is the lovely legendary Libyan gold tektite. Libyan gold tektite is a fantastic sacrum solar plexus stimulant of high fire nature with storm overtones, which means it activates the entire auric field, as well as being a tremendous powerful stone of manifestation, and was utilized by the Egyptian magi and pharaohs for this purpose of being a very powerful stone of magic in that timeline. And speaking of Egyptian, of course, nothing's more synonymous with Egyptian magical stone utilization than lapis lazuli, a stone that is a favorite of millions for thousands of years, much like its lovely counterpart turquoise seen right here. But lapis is a fantastic 5th and 6th chakra wind elemental stimulant that is known for psychic gift enhancement, as well as it's a stone of precious notoriety that has a great deal of magical history in the human story. At least as far as we know in modern recorded history of a stone of magic and royalty. And a great stone for high insights of truth and psychic abilities. Then, turquoise, a very, very lovely stone, of course, that is a great 5th chakra stimulant that stimulates the earth, fire, water, and wind in a focus of the 5th, which is considered to be a stone of wholeness, which is why it has such powerful notarization across the world, which I will omit right now to keep this video consolidated. So that'd be this side of the blade face. Then over here is a lovely piece of amber. Though not technically a mineral, it's still been very well utilized as a metaphysical frequency of abundance by taking negativity, just like transmutation ratio, and transmuting it into positivity. So it's a very funny energy. It's very good for taking negativity and turning it into positivity. This right here is moss green agate. Moss green agate is a fantastic stabilizer of the heart chakra and quite much of the essence for abundance platforms, because one thing to have the exaggeration of a very powerful heart chakra abundant frequency, to exaggerate that into form by, of course, running the energy in a particular focus, but having the stability to stabilize that output so it's consistent vibration makes the abundant ratio possible is the intentional idea of exactly this placement of, once again, the most stable green ray element in the mineral kingdom to stabilize the entire vibratory output pitch of the heart chakra's receptivity to abundance. Then right here is seraphinite. Seraphinite is a very fantastic full light body healer, activator, as well as named after the seraphim archangels. So it's the quintessential master healer of this age, I would dare say, and my purpose of utilization has been pretty evident to say that I'm pretty serious about these endeavors. And so its application for metaphysical purposes of healing have been a very, very critical aspect of my life's work at this point. And the seraphic nature also imbues the seraphim realm of archangels into the physical self, which means it has a fantastic full light body stimulation and dismantles dis-ease through the entire energy body in all formats of mental, physical, spiritual, and emotional bodies for the unified, whole, healed light body, which in theory, manifests as physical healing as well, in that capacity. And a lovely cousin to that particular frequency is infinitite, a special variety of serpentine, which makes a great full Kundalini activator, as well as the special variety of infinitite makes for a fantastic decrystallization of stored negativity, of survival issues, any kind of aspects that be blocking the flow, just like seraphinite, are also addressed by this frequency right here. So that would be just the entire blade band section, which I'm omitting the selenite till last for, it'll make sense, of course, when the time comes. But this section right here is what I consider to be the main heart or the engine, which will eventually have this green leather cut appropriately to size for aesthetic pleasing purposes, as well as being a green ray way to protect all these subtle stones but yet to be mentioned, as well as being a color therapy resonance to have the green ray focus the energy of the color through the entire closed loop circuit, as well as a way to insulate and condense this excess amount of energy, most importantly through the green ray. And it's also an aesthetic completion for the construct's sake at that point. So that is enough dissertation about the fabulous forest green leather. Now back to the engine. So this section I'll describe in one shot based on the aspect of them working in synergy for the elemental balance stabilized. So jaspers and agates, like this right here mentioned, moss green agate, are the most stabilized vibrations in the mineral kingdom based on their elemental composition. So the aspect of red jasper, earth energy, is one of the most stabilizing root chakra stimulants to stabilize the root of the entire chakra column. Blue lace agate is a water elemental stabilizer of the 5th chakra. Then over here is grape agate, which is wind energy to stabilize the 6th and 7th chakras, purple ray, in the most stable format. As well as fire agate seen right here. Fire agate is a great fire energy stabilizer of the root, sacrum, and solar plexus. So when you take the concept of having the stabilization of earth, fire, water, and wind, the 4 directions of the medicine wheel, and the most stable variety possible in this reactive circuit, that is the grounds for stabilized longevity of the entire elemental spectrum in even balance. Which is a very nice little aspect for equilibrium's sake, for the construct's purpose, to have a very stabilized, even energy alignment to the auric field of the recipient when they're wielding this construct. Then right here is black tektite. Black tektite is a fantastic product of meteorite hitting the sand, carrying that extraterrestrial jolt into reality, which serves as a fantastic black ray, ground up, full light body stimulant to raise vibrations very powerfully, which is a staple in virtually all light tech based on the simplistic nature of having a very extraterrestrial high vibratory output that is luckily of a black ray earth grounding connotation. So of course the power of that kind of energy has a ground up context to stimulate the entire chakra column and expand and strengthen the entire vibratory shell of the outer emanations of the auric field. Then right here is ruby and zoisite. Ruby, like mentioned, the premier red ray royal stone of base chakra stimulation, combined with green zoisite, which is an impeccable heart-mind coherence engager. So we can take the trifecta of the root stimulation to the ideal level with the heart-mind coherence impeccably intact with that frequency. It makes for a dynamic trifecta by itself of transformation into tangibility of one's highest divine blueprint manifest, which even a small dose goes a very long way, like mentioned, with everything else in this construct. Then over here, another master healer I utilize quite intently is star argonite. Star argonite is a fantastic calcium-based, full light body stimulant that behaves much like the aspect of seraphinite, being a full light body stimulant that rapidly but gently dismantles patterns of dis-ease in all variations. So very useful, another master healer as part of the background frequency of full chakra stimulation. Then right here is a lovely prehnite. Prehnite is a fantastic 3rd and 4th chakra stimulant that is a great master healer and one of the closest frequencies, in my opinion, to the analog connection to the Raphael force, that being the green ray Clohan of Raphael the Archangel, which is very advantageous even in a small dose in a reactive circuit. Then over here is the lovely Larimar. Larimar is an absolutely fantastic 5th chakra stimulant that brings extreme soothing calm to the 5th and 6th chakras, as well as great for voice projection and soothing excess fiery energies. Then back here, last but not least for the engine section, is a small little piece of the legendary moldavite. It's a rather small piece, hence it could be concealed by the leather, not on a showcase in the blade face, so that it's ensured, it's protected, and will never run away from this construct when it goes to fly the nest to live happily ever after with the recipient. And so, moldavite is a very legendary, powerful green ray stone in this day and age that's of great notoriety as a magical stone of synchronicity and the Holy Grail. So even a small dose of that goes a very long way to intensify one's connection to their truest, highest self into creation. Then right here, as a perfect antithesis to the beryl family green ray emerald seen right here, would be morganite. Morganite is a lovely pink ray cousin to emerald. So emerald is the quintessential, well-notarized green ray physical heartstone of abundance, yet its cousin, morganite, is a pink ray divine love emanation of abundance. So on that note, the beryl family oftentimes has a 8.5 out of 10 the hardness scale, which means its dense atomical structure has a very dense oscillation, just like ruby and sapphire being very dense stones, brings a lot of tremendous energy power and most aggressive almost emanation of that particular ray. So what that means, of course, is that this perhaps could be one of the more aggressive pink ray high heart love frequency alignments, and the abundance of love being represented in this guy right here, which of course is a perfect segue transference to the emerald, very complementary for that purpose at the apex of the device. So what that means, of course, is that that is a very prominent, powerful pink ray stone. You can think of the typical emanation of rose quartz with a very intensified further stimulation. And that would be the entirety of the crystal compilation mentioned thus far. And so last but not least, also with everything mentioned in these roughly 15 minutes of my dissertation, is the aspect of the selenite's employment right here on this blade face. So selenite plays a critical role, for by itself it's a fantastic clear of all stagnant energy from top to bottom of the auric field, as well as particularly being a 7th, 8th non-physical chakra back to the oversoul Godhead, two-way connection to the conscious self that clears the pathways of any kind of energetic debris or electromagnetic interference that be interfering with one's dharmic connection to their highest self and connection to creation. So that's already amazing by itself, but where it really shines in any given spirit tool that goes into operational status is the capacity to take all these frequencies mentioned thus far in this reactive closed loop circuit. It can take them and purify all of them. So all this is purified at a consistent flux. Then it can take that entire algorithm and it can harmonize all these frequencies. Then it can take this entire frequency and accelerate or intensify all of them. So when you take the aspect of the purification, harmonization, and intensification, that makes for the grounds for a truly spectacular spirit tool. And so the aspect also, the wooden core utilized is oak. Literally from my backyard, right here at the tip of my pen, you can see that's actually the home tree where exactly the oak came from the forest floor. So obviously that buddy out there provided a part of his essence that's right there here in Mount Shasta in my backyard for the core of this device as full reference. So that would be the entirety of, once again, the 15th rendition of the Abundance Platform in short succession. And its primary focus, when being wielded by the recipient, of course, it's a very versatile device that has all the stimulation points covered in a technically wearable format, or passive wearable talisman, be worn on the chest, obviously. But its heavy, high-yield emanation concentration of the blade band is a very dramatic stent scaffolding of the receptivity of God's love manifest in physical means, is what it comes down to in a nutshell. And hence this particular endeavor of this platform has been organically expanded into a higher overture than even I anticipated at this point. And after this video, there's actually its siblings of 16 coming into existence. So this has been quite the promising development of a particular frequency being in wide distribution in service to creation, as a little capstone preface. Anyhow, so that would be the, once again, 15th rendition of Abundance, seen right here in talisman format. 1,000 blessings, and I pray everybody has a great day.